perfect is something that we really, really hold high. We elevate the most famous, most successful members of our society into like perfect busts of themselves. Like we really want to be perfect ourselves. We want to achieve a certain standard, have the perfect friends, have the perfect relationship, have the perfect job, all sorts of things. But I've just been thinking like perfect is fucking boring. Like really it is. It's kind of like when you've played the entire video game and you just have all the best stuff and you're just like walking around the map. It's like that's not what you want. You know what I mean? And I think that like perfect in terms of like just the stuff that I do. I constantly think about like how to make the videos better, but really like the whole point, like all of the moments that are my favorites are the most imperfect, the most incomplete, the most just human moments. And I think that like I don't have the best equipment, I don't have the best work ethic, I don't have the best anything, but I think that like the one thing that this podcast does is it really shows you the imperfection of the present. And I just think that we need more of that. We need more just understanding, because I think if we all kind of collectively agree that perfect is boring and we stop trying to just appear perfect and be so golden time, so untouchable, then we'll really develop a lot of compassion for each other. And I don't know, I just think that once we understand that like we all kind of came into the world with these like beautiful babies capable of loving unconditionally, and then just slowly, without intending to, but our parents, the world, chipped away at that unconditional love. And it made us think that we had to be something else. We had to pretend to be anything other than just love, to be worthy of love, which is pretty ironic, but that's where the whole idea of being perfect comes from. I think that I've never really been a perfectionist, but I think that like being like perfectionism has a lot of insidious small forms to it. I think that being perfect is something that by definition is something that you can't be. So if you're chasing perfection always, the only thing that's going to happen to you is disappointment. And you're going to miss this beautiful gift that we have, which is being alive. I just think that that's really important. I don't know. And it's kind of hard to... I don't know, it's just hard to remember that sometimes. Like, so often I just want to be better. I want to look better. I want to feel better. I want to be making better videos. I want to be earning more money. I want to be more successful. I want people to like recognize me when they see me on the street. But all of that is just secondary. Like, I think if I had all of those things, I just either want more of them or I'd be depressed, because I'd realize that that stuff isn't really necessary. And I think that this like happiness instead is really all you need. And just chasing that and understanding that like perfect is boring. I think it also applies to like dating in general. Like a good example is like I think this concept of leagues, right? Where it's like, oh, she's out of your league, that sort of thing. I don't really believe in leagues. I think the reason why I don't is just because perfect is boring. And I just think that in general, like, remembering that, like, look, it's weird for me to ask people to interview on this podcast where I sit on this sculpture, like it's a weird thing to do. But also, every single person that I've met doing interviews, I've been so happy that I've had it. And, like, I wouldn't have any if I didn't risk appearing imperfect or weird or whatever, asking people to interview. And I just think that, like, that also applies to dating, right? So, like, let's say me asking for an interview is the same thing as me asking for somebody to go out with me. Like, if I just, like, stay in this, like, very safe, very not threatened place, and I just never ask anybody out, I'm never going to be humiliated. I'm never going to be rejected. But I'm also never going to experience romance in my life. You know what I mean? And or like maybe I will, but the only person that I'll do it with is somebody who's willing to take the risk and do it with me. And then it's just like, that's no way to live. I mean, like, you don't want to, like, really put yourself out there and go for what you want. Like, I think that it's just like, you need to understand, like, like if you're about to talk to a girl, or if you're about to post your first YouTube video, or if you're about to, you know, apply to this college that you're not sure that you can get into, or if you're about to, like, anything, like try like put on the lingerie for Rocky Horror the first time, just, like, think for a second. Perfect is boring. Like, if I ask her out and I appear perfect, it's going to be, first of all, it's not going to be me, but second of all, I'm going to be pretending. I'm going to be just trying to be this thing that I'm not. But if I, like, ask her out and I'm just being myself, and I stumble on my words and I seem a little weird. Oh no. She fell. A girl fell. Perfect is boring. You know, you're going to fall down the stairs if you have too many copas. Sometimes it's just a part of life, you know. Perfect is boring. Anyway, just remember that anytime you take a risk, perfect is boring. And I love you guys forever and ever. Bye.